Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. I couldn't make a video for a couple of days as I was not feeling well. So let's start the analysis of Nifty. We'll resume from today. As you can see, we have already discussed these movements, and if you can see, I am showing this daily view of Nifty's spot chart. And in order to draw this, I have drawn a couple of channels here. If you see, the I'm just trying to show that the momentum which was here in this first channel is comparatively low as compared to the momentum which is going on consistently as of now. So meaning to say that the whosoever is controlling the market, you can clearly see these are bulls and they are having good momentum. So shorting is definitely not a good thing here. Going against the trend is definitely something we will be trading with the side which is having less probability. So if you see, I'm thinking that around previously I was thinking 1900, 900 or more or less 50 plus minus. It should be a point where we would be seeing some kind of a retracement or some kind of pullback, but still it is going very well. So instead of fighting with the trend, we are just going along with the trend. So if you see on a 30-minute time frame, this was the region. I think this is something which I marked uh, maybe last week. This was the reason I was discussing that it is offering very good risk reward here. And if you are able to get an entry here, which was absolutely spot on because there was some consolidation going on here, and we would have, you know, cashed good entry here. So if you see after that, after this consolidation, the move was very swift. It did not, give any considerable retracement. Instead, it was just moving up. So if you see here again, the next entry point could have been these small retracements. Very good entry points here. So if you see and measure this particular swing, which has occurred yesterday. So this was the perfect entry with a very small stop loss. I usually enter in the region of 618 around 618 and 70%. So this was the region for entry, and your stop loss would have been hardly 50 points. You see, around 45 points of stop loss, and if you follow 61.8 retracement, your target could have been achieved today with around 200 points. 200 points of target if you entered somewhere around here at the retracement of 70%, then your target would have been 4.67 or more than 4.5 hour. The second entry point, after having this entry and pullback here, it did not start going very heavily. Instead, gave one more opportunity as a pullback. So if you see here, after going up to 19849, there was a second entry around 19775 to 19760. So these are the points where we would have got the entry. First one was here, second one was here. So these are some things which require consistent patience. Without having some patience, you won't be able to have these kind of high risk to reward entries. Why am I saying this? Because if you see from here, after entering here, I think I booked around 61.8 retracement. Sorry, extension. I'm not wrong. So if you see after booking out here, suppose that if you booked out here, you would have waited here and here. So the waiting game is always rewarding. If you see these big candles, you would be feeling like I'm something which who is sitting on the sidelines. But instead, market keeps on giving certain opportunities, low risk opportunities and low risk opportunities. There is a very huge difference in this. You couldn't enter here, you could not enter here, you cannot enter anywhere until your risk is very measurable. So if you see, these were the areas where we would have got good risk reward entries. So what about now? Currently I don't see any good entry point here unless we get some swift retracement like this or something like this, which is giving low momentum new structure high, and then we are getting some retracement like this. So this will be your entry. So before getting this pattern, or you would say this particular entry criteria, just wait, because markets are also too much stretched to the upside. So instead of entering at any random point, we should wait for the prices to make a good risk reward entry point. So this is it. For the Nifty analysis, I think it would be better if you are having long positions, just trail them. And unless you are getting a very good risk reward entry, something like this is small new structure high, deeper pullback around 61 and 70%, then you get into the trade. So wait for that. All right. So this is it. To the upper side, we do not know any targets. Nobody knows targets. If anybody says we have the targets of these many points or these many areas, that is something blatant lie. Unless it is giving some lethargic movement to the upside and giving some good big candles to the downside. Until then, we are not going to short the market. That's it. Let's look at the stocks we discussed on our channel. Okay, so this was the Patel engineering. I certainly got out of this around this area, this particular candle around 13 July. In case anybody was following this, I had already suggested to make stop loss as the previous day low, so you would have gotten out here. So this is it. I think the trade has been completed for this counter. The next one is Gujarat Pipa Wave. Still, it is just surfing that levels, and I think it is again in the buy zone, and it did not hit the stop loss. So this is something which is testing the patience here. Now, Praj Industries, we already discussed. There can be entry point here. The stop loss will be the low level of this big candle. Let's see. I think there is some loss of momentum here, and in case we are getting some big candle, a red candle, I would suggest to get out from this counter as well. Next one is Saregama. I think yes, one third of my position was booked on 19th, and rest I will trail. Possibly I will be trailing using a 10 moving average or maybe a 20. So let's see how well the momentum, because today's candle more than 6%. It's very big candle to the downside. Let's wait for a couple of more days. In case it is not giving a retracement to the upside after this momentous downside, then possibly we can book out. Other which I added, I think this has hit its stop loss. I was suggesting to buy above this high, and maybe this was the stop loss I suggested. But still, I would suggest to remove this stock. It is showing some weakness. A lot of selling from here, and it is just closing at the low of the day. Next stock we were just following is Bajaj Finserv, and I remember correctly, this was our setup. Buy above this high, low will be the stop loss, and in this case, I think we should ride still. Today's candle is indecisive, though we'll be just following what goes ahead. Maintain this particular take. Okay, right. I think I added this one. I was going to make a video yesterday, but anyways, I was not feeling well. So this is the trade, guys. I am thinking because this one M&M is having very good momentum to the upside. Buy will be above this candle, or in fact, you can just buy at the current price as well, and this will be your stop loss low of this candle. So just follow this, and in case it is a very small stop loss, as you can see, the stop loss will be hardly 1%. In case you are getting the top of this swing from here, unless it is you when you get 2% of this movement, move your stop loss to break even, and then after you can follow either 10 moving average or 20 moving average. Once it closes below 10 moving average, you can get out. Simple way of following trend. Alright, guys, these are the stocks which I think we have already discussed with detail. And in case you are having any doubts, please do post in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.